From the magnificent fjords to historic cities, and from the midnight sun to the northern lights, Norway offers so much to interest curious travellers. There's just one problem. Norway is really expensive. Even though recent changes to the exchange rates with the US dollar, the euro and the British pound have made Norway cheaper than ever to visit, you'll still be handing over more money for goods and services on a daily basis. In this video, you'll learn how to enjoy the best of what one of the world's most expensive countries has to offer without breaking the bank. Just before I get started, please do check out lifeinnorway.net for more budget travel tips and all things Norway in English. Now, let's save you some money. Plan in advance. This tip applies to most countries in the world, but none more so than Norway. Buying everything travel-related in advance, from your airfares to your hotel rooms, is the best way to get a good deal here in Norway. That's especially true right now when the exchange rates are very much in your favour. The days of last-minute travel bargains are in the past, really. Unlike in some parts of the world, it's not normal in Norway to be able to negotiate a discount if you arrive at a hotel on the day, even if there are vacancies. Quite the opposite, in fact. You'll be expected to pay the full rack rate, often anything up to double the typical advance prices. In my experience, SAS, Norwegian and Widerøe tend to raise their domestic flight prices significantly about 7 days before departure. A one-way flight from Oslo to Bergen can be snapped up from as little as 500 kroner by booking about a month in advance. Avoid flying on Mondays and Fridays and try to fly in the late morning, early afternoon or late in the evening to get the best rates. Watch out for sales run by SAS, Norwegian and Widerøe, when prices on single flights can drop to just 300 or 400 kroner. If you're planning a trip to Norway, it's worth signing up to the Norwegian language mailing lists of all these three airlines, so you'll be notified of the best deals on domestic flights, if that's how you're going to get around the country. Using trains is a great way to save money on travel costs in Norway. Intercity trains are slow, but some, especially the Oslo to Bergen line, provides wonderful scenery. So you're getting a sightseeing tour for the same price as your train ride. Tickets go on sale 3 months before departure through the national sales outlet En Tour, or One Trip, at which you'll also find long-distance bus options. Advance tickets can be snapped up for as little as 300 kroner, but you should still find some good rates even if you're booking just a week or two before travel. Prices on the day are significantly higher if there's any availability. Adopt friluftsliv. Friluftsliv, or open-air living or the outdoor lifestyle, is central to Norwegian culture. Embracing it is one of the best ways to experience Norway on a budget. The country offers easy access to nature wherever you are, even in major cities like Oslo and Bergen or here in Trondheim. You're never far from scenic hiking trails, relaxing islands or peaceful forests. Generally, these areas are free to explore, allowing you to explore Norway's stunning landscapes without spending a single kroner, with the possible exception of a public transport ticket to get to the trailheads. In Oslo, you can take a local ferry to the islands of the Oslo fjord or ride the metro up into the forest that surrounds the city. There are several lines that lead into this forest. In Bergen, the famous funicular railway Fløibanen and also the cable car both give you access to the mountains that surround the city, and again, numerous hiking trails and spectacular views of the city and the ocean beyond. Also in Oslo, the city's outdoor sculpture parks are free and offer yet more opportunities to get outside. Vigeland Sculpture Park is rightly the most famous, with more than 200 sculptures set in the leafy surroundings of Frogner Park. But also don't miss Ekeberg Park, which features modern art sculptures and installations set in a park with fantastic views over downtown Oslo. You can get to Ekeberg Park on the bus or the tram. Now, immersing yourself in friluftsliv also gives you a deeper understanding of the Scandinavian way of life, which values simplicity, wellness, and that connection with nature. Locals spend time outdoors year-round, from cross-country skiing in the winter to hiking and swimming in the lakes in the summer. Use supermarkets. American-style convenience stores are everywhere in Norway, from the downtown shopping streets to remote gas stations. The most common are Narvesen, 7-Eleven, and Deli de Luca. All these offer food of varying quality along with drinks and snacks and some basic groceries. However, prices are high. For example, a simple bottle of water is priced at about 18 kroner in a supermarket. You'll pay 25 or even 30 or more in one of these convenience stores. Most of these stores, though, they do offer hot fast food, and that can be good value as well as the coffee. However, if you are self-catering in Norway, then a trip to a proper supermarket is an absolute must. Simply ask a local where the nearest one to you is. Just bear in mind that all but the smallest are closed on Sundays. Now, along with cooking ingredients and fresh fruit and vegetables, Norwegian supermarkets offer by far the best prices on snacks, bottled water and other drinks. So even if you're staying in a hotel, it's worth stocking up on snacks at a nearby supermarket. By the way, tap water in Norway is absolutely fine. There is no need at all to buy bottled water. Another good tip for supermarkets, the biggest ones have salad bars. Now, these are great options for lunch on a budget. It's something I do regularly. While relatively expensive for what they are, these salad bars are charged by weight and are generally much cheaper than eating lunch in a restaurant. Make the most of breakfast. If you're staying in a hotel, you'll soon discover the lavish Scandinavian breakfast buffet. These offer, at the very least, cereals, breads, meats, cheeses, jams, pastries, and fresh fruit. Some of the bigger or better quality hotels also offer a variety of hot options, typically eggs, scrambled, boiled, or fried, sausages, bacon, mushrooms, and tomatoes. If you take a late breakfast and a relatively early dinner, then it's more than possible to skip lunch or just get by with a piece of fruit or an energy bar in the early afternoon. This is another way to slash your food bill. Avoid alcohol. Now, the simplest way to avoid expensive alcohol is simply to skip alcohol altogether when you're in Norway. If you're making the most of Norway by exploring the great outdoors, you probably won't feel like a drink anyway. In bars and restaurants, wines and spirits are by far the most expensive options. Draft lager, particularly the Norwegian pilsners such as Hansa and Ringnes, are usually the best value alcohol, but that doesn't mean good value alcohol. You're still likely to be paying anything up to $10 or more just for a half-litre glass of beer, depending on where you go. Outside of bars and restaurants, you have to go to the state-run alcohol store to buy any drinks with an alcohol content of over 4.7%. These stores are not cheap and have pretty limited opening hours, so if you really must indulge, do as the Norwegians do and shop at the duty-free stores on arrival at the airport. You'll find some good quality wines here at reasonable prices. You can only bring 1 litre of spirits per person into the country, but the allowance is more generous for wines and beers. Use public transport. Single fares on public transport in every Norwegian city are pretty expensive. The typical adult walk-on single fare is at least 60 kroner, but almost no one pays this because there are several options to save money by buying your ticket in advance. Which one you choose will depend on your travel habits and how comfortable you are with mobile technology. Firstly, buying single tickets in advance cuts your bill. That 62 kroner ticket in Oslo for a single costs 42 kroner when bought from a kiosk or a machine before boarding. Tickets can also be bought pretty much everywhere via smartphone apps, although there is a different app for each city and region in Norway. Whether it's worth downloading the app and hooking it up to your credit card, that's a decision for you. And again, it depends on how comfortable you are with technology and also your data plan that you have while you're here in Norway. Now, if you will be relying on public transport while you're here in Norway and you're staying in one region, consider a period ticket. A 7-day pass in Oslo, for example, costs just 352 kroner, and that same ticket is 255 kroner in Bergen. So even if you just use the pass a couple of times a day, that's a pretty good deal, even if you don't stay for the full 7 days. It also means less faffing around buying a ticket every time you want to use the bus, tram, or metro. Oslo pass holders are entitled to free use of public transport during their stay, but whether the Oslo pass is a good deal for you depends very much on your travel habits, what you plan to do whilst you're in the capital city. If you are planning a trip to Oslo, there's so many things to see and do in Norway's capital city, many of which don't cost a thing. Check out this video next to see my recommendations for how to spend your time in Oslo. From sculpture parks to boat rides, there's something to suit all travel tastes. Thanks for watching.